We are here for Season 4 of the Indycar Speedway League. Just gone through a run of our sponsors there before I started talking, but here we are for Season 4 in the IR05 series. This is the Indycar Speedway League, brought to you by robertstechjobs.com. robertstechjobs.com, your leading provider of temp to hire contracts in the Midwest. So if you are an IT professional and you're looking for a job, then please go to robertstechjobs.com and tell them that the ISL sent you. It is going to be 100 laps here at the West Coast track here in California. Going to be one hell of a barnstormer as we're going to get set to get ready for qualifying here in just over 20 seconds. And it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to this. Creighton Carter here tonight to defend his crown. Not sure who's going to get it, if he's going to successfully defend his crown, or if anybody is going to try and take it away from him. But they will definitely be trying, as we are now going to go to qualifying now. We are 5 seconds from the end of hot laps, and definitely going to see who can get that pole position. As now, here we go. It's time to go to the live feed here in Auto Club. There it is. Nighttime skies here in California, as everybody is now getting ready to go out on track. Everybody burning their tires already, as we're going to go straight to our reigning champion, Mr. Creighton Carter. He's already out on track, and yeah, I think he's got a bit of a tall order here today, as the rest of his team NLR, namely Tyler Graff and Tristan Anderson and everybody else, no longer taking part in this series. So Creighton Carter only got Isaiah Dupree as a backup. Let's going to go to one of our newer drivers. That would be Mr. Nate Siefka there in the number 16 machine. Just going to fire up at Trading Paints again to see if his paint scheme actually shows up. It probably won't, because he didn't put it on till late, so unfortunate there for Nate. But one of our newest drivers out in the field, Nate Siefka, going to try and do it in the IR05s, as we've seen him do it so many times here in the other cars in Top Fuel Racing, as that is where he made his name. Multiple race winner in that series. Hopefully he can get to the same as well. Let's go to Kevin Pasquich there in his brand newly covered IR05. New paint scheme for this season. Also for Tyler Vickery, who's in the red same paint scheme. He is there hoping to get some better luck this season. Quentin Young, another new member of Phenomenal Evolution. He is sitting in 4th right now. Actually just been bumped down to 5th by Chris Bouchard, who's hoping for a championship run this season after a breakout season last season. So one of the guys to keep an eye out on tonight, John Napier in the XS sim gear machine. Just waiting for Trading Paints to stop being pens in the backside and show us that beautiful paint scheme. But of course they're not, are they? Oh, there it is. XS sim gear on the IR05. Beautiful paint scheme. John running the number 15 this season, so different number for him this season. I'm sure he'll get that changed. Greg Napier there with the Prestige Vapories machine, and waiting for Joe Morganti. There he is in the Soda Fix machine. Actually, he's in the Lugnut stock car simulator machine, so lock up the Soda Fix machine on tonight. Nate Siefka currently up to 2nd. Isaiah Dupree is in the lead right now. I almost forgot. Let's put the qualifying standings up there on the side. And take the scroll tick down and put the live free up. No, Sam, don't do that. Now, just over 6 minutes left in hot laps. Qualifying, sorry. We are going to have a drivers meeting as well, if I can get the chat to come up, the voice chat to come up. Currently your standings are Chris Bouchard currently on the pole, Quentin Young 2nd, Nate Siefka 3rd, Isaiah Dupree 4th, Creighton Carter 5th, Ronnie Osmer 6th, Bob Lacavara sits 7th. 8th is Greg Napier. 9th is Timothy Bates, another debutant. Someone else just dropped up there. I think that was Ronnie Osmer. Another phenomenal Evolution driver there. As he's driving his newly painted number 55 machine. Got the flames on the car, Ronnie, don't worry. So don't worry about that. You've got the flames and the yellow that you requested. So definitely one to look out for. Ronnie's looking for a good season this season too. So watch for him tonight in this season opener. Now, let's go to no, okay. Just gonna do something here. No, it's not gonna work, is it? No. As we weren't even live. Great. Now, as ATVO just took a dump on me. Great. That was always gonna happen, wasn't it? Bear with me 1 second, guys, as we're just fixing up the ATVO. As we will be going to qualifying very soon. We are in qualifying. What am I talking about? We're going to be going to the race very soon. You can tell this is first race of the season, can't you? I'm getting everything wrong so far. As we are just under 5 minutes now in qualifying. Still people out on track, as you can hear. Let's go back to our main view now, as we have got that fixed now. Small technical gremlins there, ladies and gentlemen, so we do apologise. There we go. There's Christopher Bouchard out on track still, as he's going to bring it down pit side now. Ronnie Osmer's out on track too in his PH Aware Ride to Give machine. Currently sitting 8th place in the lap times. John Napier there just sitting on pit road. Cody Eldred, season 1 champion, is on pit road. So let's go through our qualifying order once again. Chris Bouchard currently sitting on the pole. Quentin Young 2nd. Michael Whitaker up to 3rd now. Isaiah Dupree is 4th. Nate Sifka 5th. Timothy Bates in 6th place. So 2 debutants there in 5th and 6th. Doing very well here tonight. Creighton Carter 7th. Ronnie Osmer 8th. 9th is Bob Lacavara, and rounding out the top 10 is Tyler Vickery. 11th is Stuart Lumpkin. 12th is Joe Morganti. 13th is Greg Napier. 4th is his father John Napier. 15th is Johnny Antonucci. 6th is Terry Adams. 17th is Kevin Pasquich. 18th is former champion Cody Eldred, and 19th, not taking the time just yet, is Mr. Dylan Moskowitz. So that is the qualifying order so far tonight. Just going to take a short break there, guys. I'll be back in 2 minutes. So, welcome our broadcast tonight. This is Beaufort Broadcasting, bringing you the first round of the Indycar Speedway League live from Auto Club with their IR05 series. Good to see them back out there. Right before we go green again for another season, let's go to our grid for tonight's race. On the front row and putting in an unofficial lap record is Christopher Bouchard. He'll be starting on the pole. Joining him on the front row will be Quentin Young. On row 2 with Mike Whitaker and Isaiah Dupree. Row 3 will be Nate Siefka and Timothy Bates. So 2 debutants on the third row. Row 4 will be Creighton Carter, defending champion. He'll be joined alongside with Ronnie Osmer. Row 5 will be Bob Locavara and Tyler Vickery. Row 6 will be Stuart Lumpkin and Joe Morganti. Row 7, Greg Napier and John Napier. So an all Napier 7th row. Row 8 will be Johnny Antonucci and Hanover Fist, Mr. Terry Adams. Row 9 will be Kevin Paskowicz and Cody Eldred. And starting shotgun on the field will be Dylan Moskowitz. So let's bring up the scroll tick. Let's bring up the live free and let's get this underway, shall we? We have got 100 laps here at Auto Club Speedway and we are looking forward to another absolute barnstormer here tonight. Chris Bouchard not taking to the grid just yet, so I'm wondering if he's just going to start in the pit road and work his way forward. Who knows? As we are looking forward to another great race here with the IR05s. There he is, Chris Bouchard now taken to the grid as we've got a full lineup of cars there. The 2-3 Musket Beers machines are at the back of the field. And Kevin Paskowicz not having the best of qualifyings. He is there in the near the back as well, so he's going to try and work his way forward as they are now rolling and they're now going out on track as they are behind the Mustang pace car, the usual pace car for this series, as it looks like, yep, Isaiah Dupree's gone back to one of his classic paint schemes there. So we've got Bouchard and Young there on the front row, Whitaker and Dupree on the second row, Siefka and Bates on row 3. So definitely a good mixture of drivers here as they make their way on to the backstretch. And again, if you're just joining us, this is the IndyCar Speedway League brought to you by RobertTechJobs.com, your leading source of temp to hire contracts in the Midwest. So if you are an IT professional and you're looking for a job with anybody, just go to RobertTechJobs.com and let them know that the ISL sent you. So they're making their way through turns 3 and 4. We're about to get them going again. There is your current pole sitter. Well, there is your pole sitter, Mr. Chris Bouchard, about to take him round to the green flag. Waiting for the pace car to pull off, and he will do in just a second. And there he goes, the pace car is off, just going to wait for it now, and away we go, 100 laps here at Auto Club Speedway. Chris Bouchard getting off to a great start. Quentin Young sitting there in second, but look, it's Isaiah Dupree and Mike Whitaker still side by side as they make their way into turn 1, and look who's got his way past Nate Siefka already. That is Timothy Bates, already up into P5 as Nate Siefka has dropped behind him. Ronnie Osmer is going to give Siefka some support there as they go to turn 3, and look who's behind them, the reigning champion Mr. Creighton Carter, just holding his line so far and just relaxing behind the 2 Phenomenal Evolution drivers. Chris Bouchard meanwhile is going to be caught by the leading pack as he did get off to a very big jump start there on that start. We're already on to lap 2 of 100 as look at Quentin Young, he's holding on to that bottom line with Chris Bouchard, and he's got Isaiah Dupree for company as well. Isaiah Dupree, one of the most winningest drivers in ISL history, looking to add another win to his record now as they're going to go almost 3 wide into turn 3. Let's focus on Isaiah Dupree. He's got Mike Whitaker right on his tail. Mike Whitaker would love to get another championship under his belt, but let's not think about that now. This is only the first race of the season, and look how closely they're racing already as they begin lap 3. Nothing too bad to note of some sort. Everybody seems to be racing very clean as they're making their way into turns 3 and 4. A few more drivers than we had on Sunday, with the IR18s making their debut. Still a very good race as they're 3 wide for second place. That's Mike Whitaker in the middle. That is Isaiah Dupree to the outside, Quentin Young on the inside, but they're going to get away with it just about as they come out of turn 2. Still side by side are Quentin Young and Mike Whitaker, and they're going to still be side by side as they go into turns 3 and 4. Who's going to back out of this? Isaiah Dupree backing out of it, and Mike Whitaker is... No, they've still got a wheel alongside each other. Look at Ronnie Osborne starting to make his way for the field now. He has dispatched Bates and Sivka and is bringing Creighton Carter with him. So Creighton Carter is moving his way for the field as everybody getting bunched up there. Let's go back a bit through the field as that is Bob Lacavara there sitting in 9th. Joe Morganti is sitting in 10th place, and Tyler Vickery in the other phenomenal Evolution machine is currently in 11th place. Let's go back further through the field. Let's go back to Kevin Pasquich, who's currently battling it out with the 2-3 must get beers machines of Dylan Moskowitz and Cody Eldred. Almost seems like they're kind of working together as they make their way across the tri-oval. Some very safe racing from some of these individuals so far in this race. There's Dylan Moskowitz there. Let's go up to John Napier there, who is actually leading a train of cars. That is his son Greg Napier behind him. Stuart Lumpkin is there as well. As Stuart Lumpkin makes a move on Greg Napier, not going to make it work this time round, but here comes Terry Adams on that outside, just staying out the way, but he's getting a lot of momentum while he's doing it. Very interesting move there by Mr. Terry Adams. So the field split into 2 separate packs. You see Bob Lacavara at the back of the first pack there. Tyler Vickery is alongside him there. There is John Napier, currently 2 seconds behind the number 5 machine. So 2 separate packs forming there. We've actually got 3 separate packs after Dylan Moskowitz and co are... Actually, no, they've caught up to the back of that. So we have got 2 distinct packs there forming in this race, as that is John Napier still at the front of that little pack there, as here comes Terry Adams on the inside. He's defending there in P12 as everybody at the front seems to be racing it out pretty hard, as there is Christopher Bouchard still defending from Isaiah Dupree and Quentin Young, as Ronnie Osmond's moved his way up into the top 5. Nate Sivka looks like he's making his way up as well. He's up into the 6th place as he's making his debut here tonight with the ISL, and he's right on the gearbox of defending champion Creighton Carter. Creighton Carter going to try and get the inside line on Ronnie Osmer as they make their way on lap 9 onto the backstretch. Gonna be difficult to get Brandon Mr. Sivka as he now opts for the inside line, which is the favourable line around here in these cars. Not got a team paint on his car at this moment, but when he comes back next week at Kansas, I believe it is, we are going to see a new paint on that car, as well as Quentin Young, who's also a phenomenal Evolution driver. So we've got 2 phenomenal Evolution drivers there behind Chris Bouchard, who's an independent, and we've got Isaiah Dupree, who runs for NLR. So definite team battles going on there, as Quentin Young's going to try the inside line on Bouchard, but Isaiah takes the lead on the outside. So great move there for the 93. He's now to the point as we're about to end lap 10 and move on to lap 11. Definite switching of positions going on as we are seeing a lot of lead changes already. Let's go for the summary already. We have had no cautions. We've only had 1 lead change by the sound, from what I've seen, but it looks like we've had more lead changes than that, as Isaiah Dupree still holds on to that first position. Lot of jostling going on though, as Quentin Young still got that inside line. Chris Bouchard has now dropped to 3rd place. Ronnie Osmond still holding on to 4th, and he's got his teammate right behind him in Nate Sivka. So phenomenal Evolution now currently 1, 4 and 5. And it looks like team battles are coming into the equation as I speak. Let's go back to the second pack again. That has been headed by now Dylan Moskowitz, who's there up into 12th place. So another lot of jostling and fighting there between the drivers, as Kevin Pasquich is now making his way up through that field. Now he is I believe the 5th driver in. We've got 5 Phenomenal Evolution drivers there. We've got 2 Three Musket Beers drivers there, and we've got 2 Strange Nuts Racing machines there. As there is one of the Three Musket Beers machines. That's Dylan Moskowitz alongside the Pinnacle Motorsports machine of Terry Adams. And here comes John Napier. They're 3 wide through turns 3 and 4. Great fighting here, as they're not fighting at the front, but they're happy enough to fight at the back, as they're still 3 wide going for the trial. But that's Eldred on the outside, Greg Napier on the inside, now John Napier on the inside making it 3 wide. Lots of fighting here in this second pack, but very exciting, as now Terry Adams gets in on the 3 wide action, as they're still fighting at the front, as we can see at the bottom of your screen. Dylan Moskowitz still heading that little pack, as we're now on lap 14 of 100 already. So this race going very, very quickly. So back to the front, as there is Quentin Young in the lead, currently being supported by his teammate Mr. Ronnie Osmer, who's now moved up to 2nd place. We see Chris Bouchard in 3rd, Isaiah Dupree in 4th, Nate Siefka still holding on to top 5, and Joe Morganti moving up to 6th place. So Strange Nuts driver Joe Morganti really coming to the front now, as he's determined to get some better luck this season. Didn't have the best of lucks last season, as after his breakout season in season 2, that's where he got his first ever wins at the track we're going to next week, Kansas, and at Pocono. Meanwhile, our leader Ronnie Osmer still out there. Well, he's actually just got out there in front. So good running there for Ronnie Osmer in that PH aware ride to give machine. As the lead pack are now 4 seconds ahead of the second pack, which is still headed by Dylan Moskowitz. They seem to have calmed down slightly, as we've got to be surely looking towards green flag pit stops, or either that or we're halfway through the run right now. John Napier 2nd in that group. 3rd in that group is Cody Eldred, who's in 14th position, and there's a lot of fighting behind them. That's Terry Adams, Kevin Pasquich and Greg Napier at the back there, currently sitting behind that and starting to lose the draft is Johnny Antonucci and Stuart Lumpkin. Those guys just sitting back and relaxing right now, as they've picked up the draft again and got onto the back of Greg Napier. So this is so definite fighting, and nobody looks like they've missed a step since last season. Obviously we've got some new drivers, Stuart Lumpkin being one of them. Let's go to another one of our new drivers, Timothy Bates. He's fighting with the lead pack and is alongside reigning champion Creighton Carter there on the inside as a complete lap 18. Going to take the initiative there and move up to the front again. And Nate Siefka and Isaiah Dupree side by side as well, as they go into turns 1 and 2. It looks like Joe Morganti has dropped back a bit, as we've got a wreck there. That is Mike Whitaker involved in that. Back down, guys. The guys in the second pack need to back off a bit. Oh, Kevin Pasquich getting a piece of that then. Let's go back about 30 seconds and find out what happened. Oh, it's Isaiah Dupree getting into the wall, taking Mike Whitaker with him, and Joe Morganti was in it too. Oh my goodness me. Heartbreak for the 53, and definite heartbreak for the 93 of Isaiah Dupree. Not what he wanted to see in the early running of this race, as he is currently on pit road right now. Mike Whitaker's had to bring it back pit road as he's crabbing that thing down the lane right now. Joe Morganti's still out on track, is he? But without a front wing, so Gonna have to use up one of those fast repairs as we are under our first caution on lap 21 of 100. Let's see if anyone's going to bring it down pit road. It looks like they are. Chris Bouchard's going to bring it down as we're going to switch to our pit lane cam. As interesting developments on pit road there between Mike Whitaker and Isaiah Dupree. Whitaker finally getting into his pit stall as they are bringing it down pit road. It's going rather slowly, but they are bringing it down. Tyler Vickery is stayed out, so Vickery's got knows something that we do not. He wants to get a point for leading the lap though, so good on him as they all hit their pit stalls right now. See who gets off first. That looks like Ronnie Osmer's going to win the race. No, Chris Bouchard's going to get off first. Second, Ronnie Osmer. Third, Quentin Young. Looks like Nate Siefka got fourth off pit road. Quentin Young fifth. Creighton Carter 6th, 7th Timothy Bates, 8th Bob Lacavara, 9th Joe Morganti, 10th Dylan Moskowitz, 11th Cody Eldred. So no, there goes Morganti now. So he had a bit longer in pit road than initially thought. Let's go back to the live action now as everybody looks like they've finished their pit stops now. There is Joe Morganti in the 53. He's actually dropped down to 16th position after having to use that fast repair. So Joe there dropped back down to 16th place, as I've already mentioned. Let's go to our leader. Current leader is Tyler Vickery. Decided to stay out in that while everybody else went down. So picking up a point for leading the lap. So good for the 24 there, as he is our current leader. Chris Bouchard winning the race off pit road. Second was Ronnie Osmer. Third was Quentin Young. Fourth was Creighton Carter. Nate Siefka was the fifth off pit road, so he's sitting in sixth now, and Timothy Bates in seventh. Bob Lacavara is there in eighth. Ninth now is Cody Eldred. 10th now is Kevin Paskowicz. Had to repair a front wing though on that pit stop, so not happy that he actually ran into the back of Michael Whitaker. Actually, is that Paskowicz in ninth now, is it? Not sure. Anyway, Dylan Moskowitz is in 11th. 12th is Greg Napier. As they're 2x2, the lights are off of the pace car already, so very quick pacing laps here at Auto Club. So, yeah. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. As we're about to get them going again, they're on the back stretch now. Tyler Vickery, let's see what he can do with those old tyres. He's on 23 lap old tyres as they're about to go to green once again. I can't help but think he's going to get absolutely mauled on this restart, but he does have support behind him in the form of Ronnie Osmer. Will Ronnie help him, or will Ronnie decide to not help him at all and move his way to the front? I hope it's not the latter. As they make their way through turns 3 and 4. Pace car is off now. Tyler Vickery is getting them going. Doesn't get them going cleanly though. Ronnie Osmer's all over the back of him, as it looks like Vickery's going to let Ronnie Osmer go and maybe play rear gunner. Takes to the high line immediately, as Ronnie Osmer is now the leader. Tyler Vickery backing off immediately, so definitely gonna stay out of the way on this restart. He knows he's on all tyres, so, and he knows he was going to get caught very quickly. So Ronnie Osmer up to the point now. Creighton Carter up to second, and Chris Bouchard up to second. Creighton Carter third. Fourth now is Quentin Young, and fifth is Tyler Vickery with Nate Siefka right behind them in sixth. But very close racing again, as we just completed lap 25 and we're on lap 26 now. No, completed lap 24 and we're on lap 26, 5. So we're a quarter of the way through the race now. Definitely some good racing there, as it looks like Mike Whitaker's just staying back there and not getting into any trouble. There he is. Isaiah Dupree is back there, and he's 6 seconds back already. Back to the front now, as we are seeing Ronnie Osmer side by side with Chris Bouchard. Give that lap to Osmer, 66 thousandths of a second ahead of the number 28 as they make their way into turns 1 and 2. Carter and Young are there side by side, going through that corner 2. Chris Bouchard has a nose out in front as they make their way into turns 3 and 4. Very, very close racing between these lead pack as Quentin Young has a nose out in front of Creighton Carter. So third place will go to Quentin Young. Ronnie Osman managing to get that lap in front. It looks like they got identical lap times there. No, 33 thousandths of a second the gap between those two at the line. So definitely a lot closer between the two drivers. Let's go back a bit in the pack as there is Timothy Bates. He's got former champion Cody Eldred right on his tail. Cody Eldred would love to get a second championship under his belt as he's now up into the top 10 and is challenging the rookie for 7th position. Gets the inside line coming across the line. Can he make it stick as they go into turns 1 and 2? Kevin Pasquich right behind them there in 9th place with Bob Lacavara rounding out the top 10 as Cody Eldred does get the move done on Timothy Bates, and here comes Pasquich now. He's going to try and make a move on him as well. And there he goes on the inside of the number 8 and takes away P8 from Bates. And now Pasquich is going to try and make a move on Cody Eldred as they come across the line. Not going to make it stick as he falls in behind the number 14 and stays in P8. Let's go back to our leaders now as they're still side by side going through turns 1 and 2. Nate Siefka is right there now with Tyler Vickery still on those old tyres, 29 lap old tyres, still in 6th place, but he's got to pit eventually, so definitely on the back foot as he's got the inside line on Nate Siefka as they come into the tri-oval side by side for all of the top 6 now as they're being caught by the New York native known as Cody Eldred. Go back even further through the pack. There is Greg Napier putting a move on Bob Lacavara now. Gonna try the inside line on the 5 as they make their way down the backstretch. Lap 30 we're on now of 100 as he's got the inside line into turns 3 and 4. Gonna pinch it up a little bit. And Greg Napier looks like it's going to be... No, Bob Lacavara gets that lap and stays in the top 10, albeit for the short period, as it looks like John Napier is there too. Hopefully going to give his son a bit of support as we're seeing smoke. We're seeing smoke somewhere. That looked like Bob Lacavara. And it is. We're seeing a lot of cars in the background. I can't see who that is. That looks like Creighton Carter involved in that. Let's go back and find out what happened to him. As they come through turns 1 and 2. Oh, he gets into it with Nate Siefka and Creighton Carter's in the wall. Bob Lacavara, Victor the Circumstance, and Dylan Moskowitz is in the wall too. It looks like Johnny Antonucci got some of that as well. So, unfortunate there for Creighton Carter as Nate Siefka unfortunately gets some error push and goes up into the side of the reigning champion, as it looks like he didn't get any damage from that Siefka. So lucky, he's one lucky man right there, as he may just get an EOL for causing that incident. The man in the number 16. As we're now under caution number 2 on lap 32. They're going to be on lap 33 very soon, and it looks like they're going to bring it down pit road. No, they're not. But Tyler Vickery is still staying out there, and he is on 32 lap old tyres. We do have some takers down pit road. Oh, some shenanigans there as they nearly get into the back of Bob Lacavara, who's still limping it round to get back onto pit road. I believe. As Tyler Vickery stays out again. Ronnie Osborne out as well still. Bates is out still, and Lumpkin is still out. So let's take a look at Chris Bouchard. As they're all on pit road there. Isaiah Dupree misses his pit stall completely. Bouchard's going to win the race off pit road. Nate Siefka's going to be second off pit road as Quinton Young comes out third. And Paskowicz is going to come off fourth. Isaiah Dupree, his race night is going from bad to worse as he absolutely bombed through his pit stall right there. So unfortunate for him. So your leader right now is Quentin Young. Second is Tyler Vickery. Third, Timothy Bates. Fourth, Stuart Lumpkin. Rounding out the top five is that man you saw on your screen just there, Mr. Chris Bouchard. Sixth place is Nate Siefka, but I can't help but think when we go 2 laps to go, he may get an EOL for that. We do not know as yet. Quentin Young sits 7th. Paskowicz still in 8th. We've got the 2 Napiers in 9th and 10th. There's Greg in 9th. John Napier in 10th. Johnny Antonucci in 11th. So lucky man to still be up there with the top 10 guys. There is Mike Whitaker recovering from his incident earlier. Cody Eldred is down in 13th. Isaiah Dupree 14th. 15th is Terry Adams. 16th is Joe Morganti. 17th is Bob Lacavara. Dylan Moskowitz, after that scary crash into the wall, bringing it down pit side again. He is a lap down in 18th. And Creighton Carter, he is 3 laps down and last in the running order. That's if he's still going to be running after that incident, because that was pretty scary. Lights are off on the pace car again as they make their way through turns 1 and 2. And Papa Smurf Hero, good to see you on the live chat. Hope you're enjoying the race, sir. Yeah, if you're enjoying the live stream, just leave a like. And if you're new to the stream on YouTube, then do not hesitate to subscribe as they're making their way through turns 3 and 4. Ready to get this thing going again on lap 35 of 100. We've had 2 cautions. One started with Isaiah Dupree. Caution 2 started with Nate Siefka getting into the back of Creighton Carter, and away we go again. Ronnie Osborne gets them back to green on lap 35 of 100. Tyler Vickery's going to file in right behind him, but again, Tyler Vickery on 35 lap old tyres. Can't help but think that he's going to pit very soon. There is Timothy Bates in 3rd. He's got Chris Bouchard right behind him. And look at Quentin Young. He's falling back for the field slightly. He's got to get Greg Napier onto the back of him. So losing a lot of momentum as they come down the backstretch. Everybody's shuffling out and fanning out as they go into turn 3. So everybody trying to find their positions there as Nate Siefka's dropped back to 9th on that restart. So no help from there. He does have help now in the form of Kevin Paskowicz, and that's John Napier right behind them in 10th. But Greg Napier getting off to a fantastic start, already up to P6. He's already passed Stuart Lumpkin and is on the back of Quentin Young now. Meanwhile, your leader still at the front is Ronnie Osmer as he's got challenge from Chris Bouchard, who's on those fresh tyres. Let's not forget Timothy Bates is there in 2nd. Tyler Vickery on those really old tyres is in 4th. They come across the line now to complete lap 36. The whole load of cars there crossing the line. This is a very close race in between these guys tonight, as we see in Chris Bouchard now going to try and get a run on the outside of Ronnie Osmer as they make their way towards turns number 3 and 4. Gets a nose out in front, so these battles are recommencing again from earlier. Ronnie Osborne on older tyres, let's not forget, as Chris Bouchard can't make the move stick and has to file in behind the number 55 as they go around for another lap. Gets shuffled down onto the apron, does Ronnie Osborne, but gets back up again cleanly, as it looks like Timothy Bates is going to try and make a move on Chris Bouchard and go on that inside line. Not going to quite make it, as Bouchard, those fresher tyres really helping him now around this track. And look at Quentin Young, he's made his way back up into the top 5 and he's got a challenge on the outside of Timothy Bates. Not going to do it this time round. He's on clean tyres as well, so those fresher tyre clad cars really coming to the fore now. Nate Siefka, the one that suffered the most though, he restarted in 6th, has dropped to 8th now as he's got Kevin Paskowicz to his inside. Paskowicz going to get the clear this time round as they go through turns 1 and 2 on lap 39 of 100. So we're getting closer and closer to halfway. Nate Siefka still falling back for the field, so really struggling there. That number 16 as he's slowly falling back from the field. Everybody getting bunched up in the lead though. Chris Bouchard is given that lap. Now he's in the lead as Ronnie Osborne gets shuffled back into second. He's got a teammate in Quentin Young right next to him as they're getting almost banging wheels as they go through turns 1 and 2. Tyler Vickery's still there. Someone needs to tell him that he needs to come in and get some fuel soon because he's going to run out. As Greg Napier's in the mix as well. There he is in that 51, but he's got Kevin Paskowicz to his inside, and Kevin Paskowicz gets the clear, moves up to 6th place. So Paskowicz on the move in this stage in the race as we're now completing lap 40 and we're now on to lap 41. Now, while everybody's running around the track, just want to give you a quick reminder that this series is sponsored by, wait for it, RobertTechJobs.com, your leading source of temp to hire contracts in the Midwest. If you are looking for a job and you are an IT professional, please do not hesitate to give Robert Tech Jobs a call and let him know that the ISL sent you. Also want to give a shout out to Topezi Overlays, the guy known as Paul Zota, supplying the best overlays out there. If you want an overlay for your broadcast, then go no further than PZ Overlays. Also, this being brought to you by the Thor Skin Podcast. If you like superheroes and you want to hear people talk about superheroes and anything to do with the superhero industry, then go no further than the Foreskin Podcast. They are on all streaming services available on the internet. Also want to give a shout out to PH Aware, one of the most undiagnosable diseases out there. They're trying to raise awareness for people that have pulmonary hypertension. So if you want to find out more and see how you can spread awareness for pulmonary hypertension, then go to either phaware.org or phaware.global. Meanwhile, let's go back to our race. We're still looking at Kevin Paskowicz there. Currently making his way around on track. He is in the top 5 now, as it looks like Cody Eldred is starting to make his way through the field. Ronnie Osborne and Quentin Young now battling out for the leaders. Look at Chris Bouchard. He's dropped back to 3rd place, and he's got Timothy Bates right behind him. It looks like Tyler Vickery's tyres are finally starting to give up the ghost as he's fallen right back through the field. He's in 8th place as it's counted on the lifetime and scoring. Again, I can't really see Tyler Vickery lasting much longer. As Tyler, get with me after the race and I'll find out if I can fix that front wing for you, because it's black and white right now. Timothy Bates, one of our highest running rookie at the moment, he is sitting in 4th place. They're 3 wide for the lead. Bouchard putting the power move on the inside, sticking Quentin Young on the outside, and Ronnie Osborne was in the middle. He's had to back out of it and fall in behind Osborne, as here comes Paskowicz again on the outside of Timothy Bates. He's going to try and move up to P4. And here comes Eldred again as they're going to go 3 wide across the tri-oval, across the finish line. Paskowicz, with the discretion being the better part of valor, backs out of it. Still remains in the top 6 as Timothy Bates is under fire now from the fresher tyres around him. As there goes Eldred on the outside of the number 8. Is he going to make it stick? I think it's pretty academic at this point. Cody Eldred is a former champion, and he knows how to drive these cars around here. But here comes Timothy Bates again. Got to try that inside line on the former champion. They're side by side as they come out of turn 4. And who's going to get it as they cross the line? It looks like Timothy Bates has got a nose out in front, as that is 33 thousandths of a second between the 14 and the number 8. Behind them, Greg Napier still holding strong in 6th place. He's got Kevin Pasquich to his outside. Joe Morganti has actually made his way up to P8 now, so good to see the 53 actually staying in it. He's right behind his teammate now in that Stock Car Simulator number 53, as Kevin Pasquich getting shuffled back now. He's going to try and make a 3 wide, and he does. It's 3 wide between the 7, the 53, no, 7, the 14, and the, yeah, now the 53, as they're 3 wide going across the line. They're going to have to back out of this. Everyone's getting really chippy in the mid-running of this race, as we're on lap 48 now out of 100. John Napier getting shuffled to that outside line. He's got Tyler Vickery to his rear on his gearbox. Everybody getting really shuffled around, as there is Isaiah Dupree up into the top 10 now, so he's getting on another good run. Everybody getting on decent runs now on newer tyres. Ronnie Osmer is still there in 2nd place, despite being on 10 lap older tyres than the current leader, Quentin Young, who's sitting in, well, obviously I just said he's the leader. Chris Bouchard is still 3rd, Timothy Bates 4th. Back up to the top 5 now is Kevin Pasquich on another run, as Bates almost squeezes him into the wall. So very, very amateur move there by the number 8 there, as he fends off the 7, and here comes Joe Morganti. He wants a taste of the top 5, as he's going to get the inside line on the number 7, and he defends from both of them, straddling the middle line there and actually getting better momentum out of turn 2 as he holds on to that 5th position. Oh, Cody Eldred getting involved in that. There's a bit of a huge wreck between Isaiah Dupree and Bob Lacavara, both of them going into the catch fence. And Tony, I'm going to steal your words here. Thank God this is a simulator. Let's go back and watch that again. That is just horrific. I'm going to watch this from Isaiah's cockpit, as, yeah, as it looks like netcode there between the 14 and the 707, and they just gets it together with Bob Lacavara, and yeah, it just goes on a ride from there. Very unfortunate there for the number 93 and the number 5 of Bob Lacavara, as Lacavara has now taken it to pit road. So now everybody finally taken down pit road. John Napier actually staying out along with Terry Adams. John Napier is actually going to get a point for leading the lap. Quentin Young is in his box. Let's go to the pit cameras. Everyone is down pit road behind them. Who's going to get the momentum coming off pit road now? And that would be Quentin Young. Chris Bichard's going to get off 2nd. Ronnie Osmer 3rd. Pasquich 4th. And it looks like Sifka came off pit road in 5th place. So good pit stop for the number 16. So there's Sifka there. I'm managing to get out ahead of Timothy Bates, as we're going to put the pit stop counter down. Let's go back to our leader, John Napier. Is he going to stay out, or is he going to bring it down pit side? That is the question. He's got Dylan Moskowitz behind him. Dylan looking for a lap back, but John Napier doesn't look like he's going to give it to him anytime soon, so unlucky there for Dylan. Yeah, we've entertaining racing here at ISL, as we always do have. Yeah, Papa Smurf, here we are. I remember you. Answer this question for me though. Are you looking forward to next week's duels? Because it's from the sounds of it, it's going to be one hell of a race. As we've got 40 drivers getting set to take the green in the first round of the Pasky Sports Cardiac Truck Series at Daytona. The first round of the new season. defending champion Ronnie Osmer is going to be fighting his way through from the back of the field, hoping to defend his championship. And speaking of championship defences, the championship defence of that man there, Mr. Creighton Carter, not going as planned, as he is one lap down and down in 17th place. His teammate, Mr. Isaiah Dupree, is there in pit road. He's not having the best of nights either. Only got one fast repair now, Isaiah, so you need to make it count. As we go back to our leaders now, that is John Napier in the lead, Terry Adams in second, Quentin Young third, Chris Bichard is fourth, Ronnie Osmer fifth, Kevin Pasquich sits in sixth place, there he is, Nate Siefka seventh, eighth is Timothy Bates. So two of the debutants there in the top 10 still, Nate Siefka in seventh, Timothy Bates in eighth, Greg Napier ninth, Mike Whitaker is in 10th. So good recovery drive from him. Joe Morganti is in 11th. Tyler Vickery, after finally making his pit stop, is in 12th. So he got shuffled quite far back there on that last restart. So sitting there just outside the top 10, still in with a shout. There is Stuart Lumpkin, another one of our debutants tonight in that 99 machine. He is in 13th place with a very interesting paint scheme on his car. There's Johnny Antonucci to the outside of former champion Cody Eldred, who's there in 15th place. As it looks like the lights are going to go off on the pace car this time round. Am I right? I'm right. They're going 2 by 2 again. We're about to get them going one more time as we're just past halfway. Lap 54 of 100. And I take it back, it's not 40 cars set to take the green next week at Daytona in the Paskey's Truck Series. It's 43 cars, and there's still people. From what I heard from league owner Alex Green earlier today, there's 8 people on the waiting list as alternates for that race. So we've got a full stack grid for next week's race, and there's still 8 people that want to get in. So unfortunately, you can't fit 51 drivers on the track. So if anybody pulls out of the race, then there's 8 people there waiting to take over. As we go back to this race now, John Napier currently sitting at the front in that XS Sim Gear number 15 machine. He's got both for broadcasting on there. He's got lug nut hub on there. He's also got pH aware on there, showing his support for pulmonary hypertension and its awareness. There is Terry Adams to his outside in that number 69 machine. Always attractive paint schemes by Mr. Hanover Fist. As they make their way out of turn 4, waiting for the pace car to peel off. There he goes. As away we go again. Another green flag run underway as Terry Adams gets it all wrong on that restart and stacks up the outside field. So unfortunate there for the number 69, as he's going to drop a ton of places. And Chris Bouchard stuck behind him. So very unfortunate as well for the number 28, but John Napier, as it seems, after that restart, leads this thing going into the backstretch on lap 55 of 100. Thing is, though, he might be in a bit of trouble soon, as there is Quentin Young and Ronnie Osmond right behind him. Nate Siefka up to 4th place now, so great restart for him. Even better restart for Greg Napier. He's in the top 5 now, so great run for the number 51. Younger of the 2 Napiers. So Napier Senior in first place, Napier Junior in 5th place. Strange Nuts are really flying in this race tonight, as there is Joe Morganti just outside the top 5 in 7th place. So all 3 of those cars are right there, as it looks like, yeah, there's Quentin Young making a move on the outside of John Napier. Can he make a stick as they're almost getting close, going through the tri-oval? Quentin Young being pushed by teammate Ronnie Osmer as they go across the line. Very close wheels, and they're almost touching wheels going through turn 1 and 2. Be careful, guys. We know how these cars like to crash, as we saw on the incident that brought out that last caution between Isaiah Dupree and Bob Lacavara. Unfortunate incident for those. And they're almost wheel to wheel as they're going into turn 3. Be careful, guys. John Napier still out in front, but almost a disaster there between the 15 and the 91. That's there it is. There's the incident I just spoke about. John Napier flipping through the triumphal infield as Quentin Young just gets hit by somebody. Oh, absolute disaster. And I did say this was going to happen because they were getting very, very close there just before that incident happened. Let's see it again. They're coming through turns 3 and 4, racing each other hard as they're very well permitted to do so. Unfortunately, John Napier just coming up the track slightly, and unfortunately, both of them getting into it. Who hit him? Oh, that's Bob Lacavara again. Oh my God! If Bob Lacavara had no luck, he'd have. If he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. As Bob Lacavara, just a victim of circumstance again. I didn't quite see who else was involved in that. I think that was John Napier, who just towed there. No, he's coming back for the infield. He's going to have to try and crab it back, or is he? Not sure. But definitely unfortunate there for the 15 and the 91. As where is Quentin Young? He's on pit road as well. He's had to tow. So meeting of the minds there between the 15 and the 91. They were racing each other very, very hard before that incident happened, as Ronnie Osmer is now your leader. He's got teammate Nate Siefka right behind him, as we've got some people that have just taken it down pit road. We've had Timothy Bates has just come down pit road. He's leaving. He's just coming down pit road now. Greg Napier is in pit road too. He overshoots his pit stall. Unfortunate for him. Quentin Young obviously is going to be coming out in pit soon, as will be John Napier. Terry Adams, he must have got into it as well. He's in pit road. Bob Lacavara, like I said, if he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all, as he got caught in yet another incident there. Indycars in real life are dangerous, dude. I swear. So it's not just this series that's dangerous. It's all Indycars everywhere that are dangerous, simply because of the speeds they go around these tracks. It's just absolutely unbelievable. I mean, 220 miles per hour is just the natural speed for an Indycar to go around in these, especially on these super speedways. As we're looking there at our leader Ronnie Osmer in that 55 PH Aware right to give machine. He's got Nate Siefka flanking him there. Well, not flanking him. He's right behind him there in the number 16 machine. Joe Morganti moves up to third after that incident involving his teammate Bouchard in fourth. Lumpkin in fifth. Pasquich is in sixth, so he's still there. He's got his teammate behind him in Tyler Vickery in seventh. Already up to the top 8 is Isaiah Dupree. 9th is Cody Eldred. Rounding out the top 10 is Mike Whittaker. We'll look for him to come for the field later in the race. Johnny Antonucci is in 11th. 12th is Timothy Bates. 13th is Greg Napier. Both of those guys just pitted, so look for them to come for the field on fresher tyres. Dylan Moskowitz still a lap down. He is in 15th as he commits murder on a cone. As Creighton Carter is now back on the lead lap, so look for him to come through the field. It looks like he's just left pit road, and he has. So after getting his lucky dog, he is back up to speed again. Well, he's getting back up to speed again. Oh, almost loops it. Creighton, just be careful. Very much coasting around the track, so not really in a rush to catch the tail end of the field, as there they are on the backstretch, so he's not that far behind really. So 4 cautions here at Auto Club Speedway. Let's go through our summary, as we are going to be 40 laps to go when they cross the line. No, that's not the one I wanted. That one. We've had 12 lead changes. Our current leader is Ronnie Osmer. We had 4 cautions for 12 laps, and we have 41 laps remaining. Let's go through our weather for tonight. Partly cloudy, 70 degrees ambient air temperature. That leaves a humidity of 55%. Track temperature is also 70 degrees Fahrenheit and 0 wind speed. So no wind out there being any sort of a factor here at Auto Club, as Ronnie Osmer, the first one to choose a different line on the restart, as that's Quentin Young spinning it on his exit to pit road, so that's not going to work in his favour. I think he was trying to beat the pace car out of pit road as they're making their way out of turn 2. We've got the two teammates there, Ronnie Osmer on the outside, Nate Siefka on the inside. How awesome would it be to, how good would Nate feel if he got a win on his first appearance in the Indycar Speedway League? Joe Morganti currently sitting third. How good would he feel if he got another win after the terrible season he had last season, to come back in the first race and win the opening race of season 4? Would absolutely do it for Joe Morganti. He's been looking for this win for so long, as there goes Quentin Young. He did beat the pace car out of pit road, but he's going to have a very tough job to get back around the track before they go green again. As John Napier's out on track as well, and Bob Lacavara, unfortunate for that guy, he's back out on track again as well. Just don't get caught in any more incidents, Bob. My heart can't take it. As the pace car's off again, waiting for Ronnie to get him going again. And Osmer gets him going as we're under green again. We are going to be 39 laps to go here at Auto Club Speedway, as Bouchard makes his move already and is already up to second, gets around Nate Siefka and gets the clear, as here comes Joe Morganti, also wants a piece of the action as he wants to get past Nate Siefka too. Kevin Pasquich, meanwhile, he is up to the top 5. He's just gone around Stuart Lumpkin to get into that top 5, and here comes Isaiah Dupree. He's making his way through the field as well. Gonna try that outside line on the 99. Hey, that rhymed. Anyway, he's going to try that outside line on the 99 as they go through the tri-oval and complete another lap. We are going to be 38 laps to go now, as this race is very quickly coming to its conclusion. Yes, we've had 4 cautions, but this race has gone very, very quickly, as everybody is making their way around on track at, like I said before, 220 miles per hour. Nothing to be sniffed at, as there is Ronnie Osmer on the inside. They're almost 3 wide as they're going through turns 3 and 4. Nate Siefka having to back out of that one, as the battles have resumed between Osmer and Bouchard. Those two have been completely inseparable throughout the race, as Bouchard gets the nose out in front as he goes across the line. Let's go back further in the field. Let's look at Tyler Vickery there. He's sitting in the last spot in the top 10. He has got Creighton Carter charging for the field, and he's going to have his mirrors full of that number 71 very, very soon, as Creighton Carter is on a mission to get himself back up the field. And looks like Tyler Vickery's going to leave the door open for Carter to get through, and he does. So Creighton Carter going to take away 10th spot from Tyler Vickery. Creighton Carter already back up into the top 10. That is awesome work for the 71. Meanwhile, Ronnie Osmer is still your leader here at Auto Club Speedway. Lots of jostling going on behind him between Kevin Pasquich and Isaiah Dupree. Very close racing between those two. Don't do what John and Quentin did on the last run. They were almost touching tyres. And that's what brought out the caution last time round. Have you not learned anything, guys? Still side by side as they go through go into turns 1 and 2. Kevin Pasquich got the nose out in front just ever so slightly as they come out of turn 2, and he's going to take a look at Joe Morganti as well while he's at it, so why not? Here comes Bouchard to the front now. He's got a nose out in front, but look at Ronnie Osmer being pushed there by Nate Siefka. Nate Siefka can't decide which line he wants to take as they come across the line to complete another lap. We are going to be there. We're just under 35 laps to go now. 34 laps now. Make that. Ronnie Osmer, your leader. Chris Bouchard second. Nate Siefka third. Fourth is Joe Morganti. Fifth is Kevin Pasquich. 6th is Isaiah Dupree. 7th is Mike Whittaker. 8th, Creighton Carter. Now, 9th is Cody Eldred. 10th is Timothy Bates. 11th is Tyler Vickery. 12th is Stuart Lumpkin. 13th is Johnny Antonucci. 14th, Greg Napier. 15th and 1 lap down is Dylan Moskowitz. 16th and 1 lap down is Quentin Young, as he's all on his own right now. 17th and 2 laps down is John Napier. 18th and 4 laps down is Bob Lacavara. And on pit road and not running right now is Terry Adams. He is currently 9 laps down. Let's go back to our race for the lead as it's getting ever closer between those guys. Look at Sifka struggling to hold the line quite slightly as he's just getting to grips with this IR05. He's used to usually racing in IR18s and DW12s. As look at Creighton Carter really forcing his way through the field, forcing Joe Morganti down onto the apron. But Morganti's not going to be happy about that. As there's Kevin Paskowicz and Creighton Carter together. No love lost between the 71 and the 7 as Morganti gets in between them. Good for you there, Joe. Don't want to see any shenanigans here at this late stage of the race. As look, Creighton Carter's got onto the back of his teammate now. Isaiah Dupree finally getting some support there as he come across the line to complete lap 69 onto 70. Can't believe I just did that. Anyway, there is Ronnie Osborne, still got a nose out in front as Chris Bichard still on the outside line. Got Nate Seifka on the inside on the second row of cars there with Isaiah Dupree there too. Morganti almost getting into Creighton Carter on that third row of cars. So very close racing here as they come out of turn 4, about to complete lap 70 and move on to lap 71. Meanwhile, look at Michael Whittaker. He's starting to make his run for the field now. Now is the time for the number 707. We are 13 laps to go before the end of this race, and everybody now wants to try and make their move to the front. There is Mike Whittaker again, still stalking his prey as he's right behind Creighton Carter. Look at Kevin Paskowicz trying to take a high line as they come out of turn 4. Paskowicz trying to do everything he can to try and make his way up through the field as Ronnie Osborne's going to lose first place now to Chris Bouchard. Finally, looked like Chris Bouchard was going to get the clear as they went for the tri-oval. As Bouchard's going to be in trouble now as here comes Isaiah Dupree being pushed by Creighton Carter on that outside there, 3 wide from the lead as they go through turns 3 and 4. Bouchard in the middle, Dupree on the outside. Osborne's going to take advantage of that, move his way to the front. Is being pushed by Nate Seifka as they come across the line to complete another lap, and it's really close fighting for the lead here as Bouchard and Dupree almost getting it together. They got it together on Sunday. They don't want to do it again here in the IR05s. That would be disaster for both of them. So another 2 people that have no love lost between them two, the 93 and the 28 I am referring to. Creighton Carter still there sitting in 6th place, wants to get his title defence off to the best start as he almost gets it together with Joe Morganti. That was very, very close. As we're now on lap 74 of 100, can we get another bat of green flag pit stops in here before this race is over? The way the fuel rules are now, I'm not sure. I need to be updated on that by the competition committee because I don't really know. As painful as that sounds. As they're making their way out of turn 4 again onto the tri-oval. Looks like John Napier is starting to make his way through the field and try and get his lap back the hard way. Let's go back to Napier there. There he is trying to work the outside line of Kevin Paskowicz. Paskowicz starting to slide back for the field now, although he is going to have some support with him in the form of Tyler Vickery, who's there in that red pH aware machine. As everybody's getting shuffled around, there goes Creighton Carter darting to the inside of Joe Morganti. Oh! Joe Morganti hit checks him, and that is going to be Creighton Carter going around it again.
Like somebody was keying up on your radio just a few minutes ago.
So, unfortunate there for Creighton Carter. Very aggressive move there from the 71. I'm guessing Joe Morganti really did not like that. There was that aggressive move onto the inside of Joe Morganti, squeezing him onto the high side and forcing his way through. I'm guessing Joe Morganti must have taken exception to that as Looks like he got a bit loose coming out of turn 4 and just hip checks the 71, and the 71 has gone round, and that's brought out caution number 5 for the night. As everybody slows it down now for the pace car. And while everybody has slowed down, I'm just going to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen, so just keep it locked on the screen as I go silent, and you just watch the cars go around for make a pit stop. Yeah. As we are back here at Auto Club Speedway, a lot of people taking it down pit road that time round. Chris Bouchard staying out, Greg Napier staying out, Tyler Vickery staying out, Ronnie Osmer, the leader of the cars that have taken it down pit road, getting some fresh tyres, and he manages to get off pit road in the lead, as you probably just saw. Nate Siefke getting off pit road in second place, Isaiah Dupree getting off pit road in third. Creighton Carter is going to be driving like a man possessed with these I'm guessing going to be final 21 20 laps to go. I could be wrong, I've been wrong before. As there is your leader, Chris Bouchard, using fuel strategy to make his way to the front, as Greg Napier is up there too. Dylan Moskowitz finally getting the lucky dog as he's brought it down pit road, and he's going to get to 4 new Mr. Feelgoods and some fresh fuel. So he's back on the lead lap. That just leaves Quentin Young, the first car, a lap down. John Napier obviously 2 laps down. Bob Lacavara 4 laps down. Thankfully didn't get involved in this incident this time round, so he stayed out of trouble. Terry Adams looks like he is out of this event as he is now 19 laps down. So very exciting racing here, a lot of cautions, but that would be expected. First race of the season, everybody just getting a feel for this car again and just getting into a rhythm, as there is our leader, Mr. Chris Bouchard. As I said at the opening part of this broadcast, Chris Bouchard wants to get his season off to the best start possible. After his breakout season last season, really wants to get up there this season and really turn this into a championship run, as he was one of the most dominant. That was probably one of the most dominant rookie seasons I've seen in a long time. As the lights are now off on the pace car. Making their way through turns 1 and 2. Kevin Paskowicz is at the back of the field. Not sure what's happened there for the number 7 machine, but I'm guessing he's on fresh tyres. That might be why. Actually, I'm not seeing Paskowicz anywhere on the field. There he is. He's at the back of the field. I'm guessing he must have had an EOL or something, because he fell right to the back. He was running near the front before that caution came out, so something happening there to the number 7. Dropping back for the field, but he is okay. There's nothing wrong with him. No unfortunate oops is happening this time around for the 7. As we go back to, as we're still looking at our leader, Mr. Chris Bouchard, he's got Greg Napier to his outside, Tyler Vickery on the inside right behind him. Tyler Vickery got his teammate Ronnie Osmer on his outside. Another teammate right behind him in the shape of Nate Siefka, and there is Isaiah Dupree still hoping to make his way to the front, as we see Greg Napier actually pinching down on Chris Bouchard before the pace car peels off. Pace car is off, and Chris Bouchard not wasting any time to get him going. As Ronnie Osmond's around, takes Nate Siefka with him, and that's the caution. Absolute disaster on that restart. Let's go back to Ronnie Osmond and see what happened there. Oh, it looks like Ronnie Osmer hitting that bump on the outside line, which turned him around, and that took his own teammate with him. So Siefka and Osmer involved in a spin on that restart. Gonna have some wing damage on that car, as does Siefka by the looks of things. Yes, he does. So Siefka and Osmer really affected that by that restart, unable to get him going, as Greg Napier actually took the lead, did he? From Bouchard. Bouchard was actually in the lead when they took the start, but my time in the score is showing is Greg Napier in the lead for some reason. Not sure why. Ah, there it is. They've slowed down for the pace car now. As you know what, I'm going to interview someone at this point in the race. Let's talk to Mr. John Napier. As John Napier is now joining me in the booth. John, have you got a copy, sir?
Yes, I do.
John, tough race so far. Challenging for the lead earlier on, but I had a coming together with Quentin Young. How's the comeback going so far?
I'm probably going to pull it behind the wall this lap. You know, on Quentin Young's part, if you got to race dirty, you shouldn't be out there at all. He was intentionally pinching me down, and it was just ridiculous. Okay, John.
Anyway, yeah, just unfortunate there. Your team seems to be looking strong out there. Greg's up there in second place. Does Greg have anything there for Chris Bouchard, do you think, on this restart?
I do. He's feeling really strong. He says he's got his line down. He thinks he did. I was just talking to him. He thinks he has a faster line. So I think he does.
Okay, John. Unlucky for this race, but yeah, I'm sure you'll be cheering Greg on as this race comes to a conclusion. And yeah, I'll put you back down to the team chat now.
Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. I couldn't hear you over the driver chat. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm trying to find where you are. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay, that was John Napier. Obviously very unhappy after that incident between him and Quentin Young. As we are 20 laps to go. We're going to be 19 laps to go when they cross the line right now. Tyler Vickery is there in third. Greg Napier, as we just mentioned, is in second place. Chris Bouchard out in front. So Chris Bouchard's still out there in front after starting on the pole, so had a very good race so far, hoping to stay out there in the lead before we go to green again. It looks like the lights are still on in the pace car. Yes, they are. So I'm going to grab a quick word with Chris Bouchard before we go to green again. Chris Bouchard, Sam up in the booth. Have you got me, sir?
Yes, I do.
Chris, strong race so far, starting on the pole and still out in the lead as we're just 19 laps to go. What are your thoughts coming into the closing parts of this race?
It's going to be certainly interesting to be on the old tires. We're going to see how that plays out. Hopefully we can keep the field behind us. I'm more worried about the 93 than anyone else here. So.
Yeah, the 93 has definitely been running strong tonight, but you've been running strong yourself. I mean, even on old tyres, you're still managing to keep the speed up there and challenge the guys. Do you reckon you have anything for them, even though you are on old tyres?
Yeah, I figure I haven't seen a lot of fall off in these tires in any of the practice sessions or test sessions I've run. So I figure might as well stay out. I'm good on fuel.
Yeah, and basically hope for another caution, maybe.
Yeah, I hope for a caution within the last 5 laps.
Yeah, and that would be the hope. But anyway, Chris, good to see you running near the front, near the end of this race, and good luck for the rest of the remaining laps.
All right, thank you, Sam.
As that was Chris Bouchard there, our current leader. Isn't sure if he has anything for the leaders, as they are still waiting for the pace car lights to go off. So this is an extended caution for some reason. So Chris Bouchard, your leader, Greg Napier second, Tyler Vickery third, but all 3 of those cars are on older tyres. Tyler Vickery and Chris Bouchard on the oldest tyres with 31 laps on their current stint. Isaiah Dupree sits 4th, Timothy Bates rounds out the top 5. Mike Whitaker is in 6th, Joe Morganti 7th. 8th is Cody Eldred, 9th is Creighton Carter, recovering after that incident with Morganti. 10th is Dylan Moskowitz, so coming back from a lap... from a couple of laps down, Dylan Moskowitz is back in the top 10, so good running for that number 4 machine. Johnny Antonucci, quite one for him tonight. He is there in 11th place. There he is in the New Jersey machine. Kevin Paskowicz having a quiet one. He's in 12th. Ronnie Osmer, after his spin on that last restart, he is in 13th, and Nate Sifka 14th. So watch for those 3 drivers to come through the pack, as they will be working together on that restart. Another teammate they'll be looking to work with will be Quentin Young. He's down in 15th place. He's 1 lap down, however. John Napier, understandably upset, as we've already mentioned. He is in 17th place and 2 laps down. Stuart Lumpkin looks like he's put his car behind the wall, as finally looks like the pace car has... The pace car lights have finally gone off, and they have. They're doubling up. They're going 2 by 2 as we're going to get ready to get them going again. Isaiah Dupree are already looking to that outside as they're going through turns 1 and 2. I'm guessing looking to make that strategy on the newer tyres work into his favour. I can't help but think that Chris Bouchard, Greg Napier and Tyler Vickery are going to have an angry pack of wolves right behind them, as they are on the oldest tyres in the field. Nate Sifka and Ronnie Osmer have the newest tyres in the field with only 3 laps on their current stint. Going to be definitely interesting to see. As they are coming into turns 3 and 4. There are your leaders right there. There is Chris Bouchard. There's Greg Napier. There is Tyler Vickery. And there is the man we need to watch. That is Isaiah Dupree. Definitely knows how to get these done on the closing stages of the race, as debutant Timothy Bates is running out of the top 5. Pace car is about to come off now. Let's see if everybody gets away cleanly this time. And away we go. We're under green again. Looks like everybody's going to get away clean this time. And Chris Bouchard has got the advantage going into turns 1 and 2, as here comes Tyler Vickery moving up to 2nd place straight away. And here comes Isaiah Dupree trying to get was trying to get the inside line on Greg Napier, but not going to make it work this time. Greg Napier going to try and look to the outside of Tyler Vickery. Gonna try and get the outside line to work as he's going to get a push off Isaiah Dupree now. Gets a nose out in front as they go into turns 3 and 4. Tyler Vickery got the advantage on that inside line as he is about to get a push from Timothy Bates. Timothy Bates dipping in a couple of tyres on the apron as Mike Whitaker's there and Cody Eldrin are both there as well. Joe Morganti is there in 8th place, but look behind him. He's got Creighton Carter coming up really fast behind him. He needs to be careful. No love lost between these two as we saw between them on earlier on in the race where they had that coming together. Chris Bouchard now is going to lose the inside line to Tyler Vickery. Tyler Vickery on 34 lap old tyres going to take away the lead with 15 laps to go. Great move by the 24 as he's going to try and defend that inside line from the 28 as they go into turns 1 and 2. Isaiah Dupree and Mike Whitaker right there behind them in 5th and 6th, really trying to make something work as there's no gap right now. Timothy Bates is the man that's got the cleanest tyres out there. He's up into 3rd place now, so very close racing as we come into 14 laps to go. Tyler Vickery is your leader here at Auto Club Speedway. Oh dear. It's been one of those nights as Timothy Bates gets a couple of wheels on the apron again. Isaiah Dupree and Mike Whitaker not able to find a hole through that gaggle of cars right there as Cody Eldred is also trying to find a gap through there, just sitting back at the moment as Isaiah Dupree looks like he's going to try and make it 3 wide as they're coming down the backstretch now. Tyler Vickery still has a nose out in front as there is Chris Bouchard trying to get the lead on the outside, but that's going to invite Timothy Bates in on that inside line. As Tyler Vickery has still got that nose out, well, still got a whole car length out in front now. As they cross the line, we're going to be 12 laps to go. Coming through turns 1 and 2, Tyler Vickery is your leader, Bouchard at 2nd. It looks like Isaiah's got a nose out in front in 3rd. Bates is in 4th. Mike Whitaker rounding out in the top 5. Greg Napier has dropped to 6th now after starting 2nd, sorry. Definitely some close racing now as we get into the closing stages of this race. Hopefully we can stay under green, but I've probably just jinxed it, so get your hate mail coming. It's Sam Cooper Bennett at Cork. PO Box OU812. Anyway, as I can confirm, Stuart Lumpkin has took his car behind the wall. Meanwhile, let's go back to the lead pack as it looks like Creighton Carter's just taken that position away from Greg Napier. Side by side going into turns 3 and 4. Tyler Vickery is still your leader. He's led 7 laps now as they come out of turn 4. We're going to be 10 laps to go as they cross the line here at Auto Club Speedway, and Tyler Vickery has the advantage as they power their way into turns 1 and 2. Isaiah Dupree still trying to find a gap through there as he's managed to make his way up to 4th place now. So not bad running there for the 93 as Mike Whitaker still holds on to the top 5 spot. He's in 5th, Cody Eldred 6th, Dylan Moskowitz up to 7th now, so great running for him. Everybody still packed together as Tyler Vickery still defending that line, that inside line, that crucial inside line. As they make the way towards turns 1 and 2, they're going to be side by side still. Vickery's still got a nose out in front as we're still watching Dylan Moskowitz there in 7th, battling out with Creighton Carter for that 7th spot. Let's go back to Joe Morganti, who's actually dropped back to 10th place. He's got support with his teammate in front of him. That is Greg Napier. Look at Ronnie Osmer coming through the field. He's there in 11th place. He's got Kevin Pasquich behind him. He's got Nate Siefka behind him. So 3 Phenomenal Evolution cars all there in a row, battling it out with Strange Nuts for the lead of this race. Meanwhile, let's go back to the lead. Well, not for the lead. Come on, Sam, wake up. As we're going to be 8 laps to go now. Tyler Vickery still has a nose out just in front as they're coming down the backstretch. Everybody getting fanned out across the stretch now as they look like they were going to go 3 wide behind there as Tyler Vickery still side by side. Creighton Carter getting a bit aggressive there on that outside line there. Getting very close with Creighton Carter. Bouchard's going to have a nose out in front as they go into turns 1 and 2. Isaiah Dupree looks like he's going to try and make a 3 wide as with 7 laps to go. As Vickery's going to defend that inside line from Dupree as they're going to go in towards turn 3. Still close racing. Cody Eldred up to 4th place now. Whittaker under attack from Timothy Bates, who's actually fighting his way back through the field after dropping down a bit. Oh, and there's a wreck! That is going to be the race, I think, as Vickery gets destroyed. Oh my God, heartbreak for the 24. Oh no. As Eldred was involved in that as well. It looks like Creighton Carter involved in that again. That guy could not get any luck tonight. Let's go back and watch that. They're coming out of turns 3 and 4. Isaiah Dupree forcing the 3 wide. Chris Bouchard coming down on him. And yeah, unfortunate there. Let's go back and watch what happened to Creighton Carter, because Creighton Carter didn't get hit by any of that by looks of things. Oh, looked like, yeah, it was Cody Eldred came down the track. Joe Morganti involved in that as well. Joe Morganti actually keeping the car straight in a straight line, but Creighton Carter, a victim of circumstance there. Bob Lacavara doing the sensible thing and backing out of it as he did not get caught up in that. He just put his foot on the brakes. As we're watching the pace car speed up and try and catch Bouchard. I've never seen him drive that fast. Come on, Mr. Bodine. Calm down. Now it remains to be seen if we are going to be going to green again after that incident. But just in case, let's go through our top 5 right now. Christopher Bouchard is in 1st, Isaiah Dupree 2nd, Mike Whittaker 3rd, Timothy Bates 4th, 5th is Dylan Moskowitz, 6th is Kevin Paskowitz, 7th is Joe Morganti, 8th is Ronnie Osmond, 9th is Greg Napier, and back up in the top 10 is Nate Siefka. So if it does not go green here, then Nate Siefka is going to pick up a top 10 on his debut, and Timothy Bates, after an impressive run in the IR18s on Sunday, going to get another decent result here on his debut in the IR05. He's going to get a top 5 if this does not go to green again. So we need to keep an eye on that pace car. If it does not go, if the lights do not go out with 3 to go, or 2 to go, then the race will be classified as finished. So, unfortunate developments there for Tyler Vickery, who's actually managed to keep it going. I can't help but think he's got to take that down pit side, because I'm sure we've got to go. We're going to get it going again, at least if it's for a 1 lap shootout, because there were 7 laps to go when the caution came out, and enough pacing laps to get around. But then again, that last caution did have a lot of pacing laps in it. It's going to be tough to see. As they make their way through turns 3 and 4. Tyler Vickery still persisting with that broken car. Cody Eldred's going to come out on track. He's got that damage fixed. Joe Morganti bringing it down pit road with that damage front wing. Cody Eldred, yeah, there he is. Just joining the back of the field now. Quentin Young is going to be 1 lap down still, so no lucky dog for him. Creighton Carter obviously going to put his car behind the wall at this point. I think he's used up all of his fast repairs. As there is Bob Lacavara. Still out on track, still running. He's in 16th place. John Napier as now looks like he's put his car behind the wall, unfortunately. So Chris Bouchard there is the leader. Just waiting on the pace car to see if the lights do go off, and if they do form up again, then Tyler Vickery is definitely going to have to take it down pit side, because he's not going to be able to drive that car around as it is currently working. Great last run there for the three other Phenomenal Evolution cars there of Kevin Paskowicz. There's Ronnie Osmer in 7th place. Nate Siefka on his debut is in the top 10. He's in 9th. So good to see the 16 out there tonight doing what he does best. And if you've not seen Siefka before, then go back and watch Top Fuel Racing. He is one of the regular front runners in that league. So definitely, if you want to do your research on Mr. Nate Siefka, then definitely check him out in that league. He does know what he's doing in these IndyCars. So no surprises up there in the top 10. Let's keep an eye on the pace car now as we're about to go 2 to go. And it looks like they're doubling up, and it looks like the lights are going to go off on the pace car. And they have. We're going to have a green-white checkered here at Auto Club. So I'm going to do this. There, green, white, checkered. That's the two-car battle you're seeing right there. Christopher Bouchard and Isaiah Dupree right there on the front row. But you can't discount the drivers behind him. Anyone can win it at this point as the pace car is off. Christopher Bouchard not wasting any time in getting him going as we are under green again for 2 laps. 2 laps to go. The popsicle sticks are out straight away as we are 2 laps to go, as there is Dylan Moskowitz taken to the grass. Not the restart he wanted, as look with 3 wide for 2nd place. That is Mike Whitaker. Now he decides to make his move. Now he's up to 2nd place, but look at the restart that Bouchard's got. He's not going to get caught if he keeps the speed he's up, as looks like Paskowicz getting a bit loose there on the inside there, getting onto the apron slightly as he is dropped to... He's still in 6th place with Ronnie Osmer up to 5th. And look at him catching up to Chris Bouchard now. This is going to be a very interesting final lap as they are closing in on the final stages of this race. And we are on the final lap. The white flag is out. Here comes Whitaker. And Mike Whitaker's been sitting back and just relaxing up until this final part of the race. And here he is. He's got the outside line as they're going to make their way into turns 3 and 4. It's going to be very close as they come around the final corners of this race. Look at Timothy Bates. He's going to try that inside line on Whitaker. But the advantage goes to Christopher Bouchard, and Bouchard wins at Auto Club Speedway. Mike Whitaker is going to take 2nd. Timothy Bates on his debut in the IR05s going to take a fantastic 3rd place. Isaiah Dupree is going to come home in 4th. Ronnie Osmer in 5th. Paskowicz in 6th. 7th is Dylan Moskowitz. 8th on his debut is Nate Siefka. So great run for him. 9th is Greg Napier. Rounding out the top 10 is Joe Morganti. So Strange Nuts getting some decent positions there in the top 10. Johnny Antonucci just missing out on the top 10. So great result there for Christopher Bouchard, as we see in there. As we are going to watch him do some burnouts here. And there he is. Okay, let's get some interviews underway as we're going to talk to our 3rd place driver. That was Mr. Timothy Bates, wherever he may be. Where are you, Mr. Bates? He is not there. Does it like... So we're going to talk to 2nd place driver Mr. Mike Whitaker, wherever he may be. Not in TeamSpeak by the looks of things. Is he? There he is. So joining us in the booth, our 2nd place finisher of tonight's race, Mr. Mike Whitaker. Mike, a great run near the end there, just pipped to the post for the win.
Yeah, I gave it a shot, but it wasn't quite enough to beat him to the finish line. Still a good race, though.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic running for everybody out there. Mike, going back to the early part of the race, got involved in an incident there on the very first caution, but I'm guessing you chose to drive conservative from that point onwards, just to try and stay out of trouble?
Well, yeah, part of that. I was still getting a feel for the car, too, trying to find out what worked and what didn't work. And when it came to the end of the race, all of that trial and error worked in my favor.
Absolutely. And if anybody knows how to save fuel and relax up until it matters, that is you in the 707. So, Mike, great start to the season. Second place in the first race. Going on to Kansas next week. Are you expecting big things from this season?
Well, I always do. I always try to get good finishes and be there for the chase at the end. I've been fairly successful with that, and I usually make it to the Final Four. That's the object, and then once you're in that Final Four, anything can happen.
Absolutely, and obviously, yeah, this is the first race of the season, so plenty more racing left to do in this season. Mike, congratulations on second place tonight. Is there anybody you'd like to thank for that position?
No, not really. Just the guy that paints my cars, but that's me.
The self-praise is no praise, Mike. We know that. Anyway, Mike, congratulations again on second place, and I'll let you go down to his room and celebrate that.
Thank you. See you, Sam.
See you later. So that was Mike Whitaker, second place finisher. Great run at the end there between him and Chris Bouchard, but as he finishes second, we are going to bring our race winner into the booth, and that is the number 28 of Chris Bouchard. Chris, I spoke to you a couple of cautions ago, and you said you didn't think you had it for these guys. I bet your foot's right in your mouth now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it all paid out.
So yeah, definitely older tyres working to your advantage there. I think that spin between Ozma and Sifka though did work in your favour though, because you were asking for another caution.
Yeah, I was hoping for the least amount of green flag laps, and that last run with two lap to go run was perfect because I could just get the jump, and they wouldn't have enough time to catch me.
Yeah, and I think as far as people go, as it came to the end part of that race, you were worried about Isaiah Dupree, but there was another driver you should have been worried about, and that was Tyler Vickery. He really did have something for you until that wreck happened.
Yeah, I was actually working with him during those runs to keep it between us two and not anyone else, because he's been working his butt off the last season and a half, and he had a really disappointing season last season. So I would rather run second to him rather than anyone else in the field if I can.
Absolutely. Well, strong start to the season, Chris. You definitely want to. I said at the broadcast that you definitely want to get off to a good start and get a championship run going after your breakout season last season. Is that definitely the focus now going on from this?
Yeah, definitely. I want all the series I'm running with this league and Paskey's stock car series. I want to win all four of them, all five of them actually. The truck series now, but I come to the races to win. And come for the championship every single time. I don't ride around for second.
I don't think anybody does at this point. Anyway, Chris, congratulations on the win tonight. Anybody you'd like to thank for that?
I gotta thank Sim Racing Apps for making it a lot easier on making the field call. Sports Diesel, Lucas Oil Racing TV, and Drive for Autism. I also gotta do a shout out for PH Aware. I don't have one of their logos on my car, but I know it's something close to KP, and I'm good friends with those guys, so I'm always gonna talk about PH and spread awareness about that.
All right, Chris. Just one more question. Looking forward to Kansas. How do you feel about that race next week?
I feel really confident because I love Kansas, but with the changes that we've done in this series, I don't know how it's gonna play out. Last year I betted on nailing pit in, pit out, and with the full fuel cell, I have less of that chance. So I think it's going to make the racing a lot closer. But yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to it.
All right, Chris. Well, congratulations on the win tonight, and good luck for next week's race at Kansas. And yeah, I'll definitely let you go down there and celebrate your win.
All right, thank you, Sam.
Do you want to go back to your team room, or do you want to go to main gate?
I don't care. I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
I'll put you in the phenomenal chat so you can talk to those guys.
Okay.
And that was our race winner, Chris Bouchard. There is another person I want to speak to tonight, and that is one of our debutants. That was Mr. Nate Siefka. Let me see if I can find him. And Nate is actually joining me in the booth right now. Nate, one hell of a debut out there tonight, getting a top 10.
Yeah, lots of fun out there. My first time being in the league. A lot of pack racing, which is always fun in these cars. I gotta thank everyone who runs this league for letting me be a part of this. I think I accidentally took out 2 guys tonight. I'm not sure who they were, but to whoever I tangled with, my apologies. Didn't mean to do that, so sorry to them, but it was a great race, wasn't it?
It wasn't bad. I mean, from my point of view, anyway. But yeah, just want to go through a couple of the incidents there. Yeah, you did tangle with a couple of people, but then again, it is your debut, so you're going to be getting a feel for that car. But one of the incidents that you were involved in was the incident with your teammate Ronnie Osmer, spinning the tyres on that restart and taking you with him.
Yeah, I think Ronnie got clipped by somebody. I don't know who it was, but Ronnie came down in front of me, and I had literally nowhere to go. So all I saw, the next thing I know, it was a base full of Ronnie and just slammed into his side. So it sucked that we got put on the back foot there. We had a couple guys. Quentin Young, he was in our team speak. He was not having a great night either. Tyler, he had an incident there at the end of the race. So wasn't a great night for all of us there. I think Ronnie recovered to 5th, if I'm not mistaken. I think I got to 7th or 8th. So overall, wasn't the worst night for us, but not the best night.
Yeah, and KP finishing in the top 10 as well. So 3 phenomenal Evolution cars finishing in the top 10. So definitely something you can't be too upset about, you know?
No, I mean, yeah, if we can take away something that's a top 10 for 3 cars tonight, but it should have been 4. Tyler had a great strategy going. He was working the one stop. He was, I think he put in on lap 50, and he was pretty confident he could make it to one stop, and I think he was on track to do that tonight until that incident. We weren't so sure about the one stop, me, Ronnie, and I think Kevin, but he made it work, and then at that point we kind of thought, you know, we can get all the way off fuel, and we made that one pit stop for tires, and I think it may have been that restart that we had that incident, but I'm not sure if it was. I think Ronnie got tagged by somebody, but I mean, the tires didn't feel like they were too cold on the restarts tonight, so yeah, I think that was just one of the instances where people get bunched up on restarts, and you know, it happens in these cars. You know, happens in the Cup cars, happens in every car.
Absolutely. Well, Nate, congratulations on getting the top 10 on your first race with the league, and going to next week at Kansas. What are your thoughts going to that track?
I like that place. Not sure if I can be able to make it yet, but if I can, I'll definitely take part in this league. It looks like a good competitive league. You know, you always look for those, and looks like I found one here. I haven't been able to do a broadcast with this league yet. Thought about doing a broadcast with you, Sam, and I was like, nah, I want to race tonight. And I wasn't disappointed, that's for sure. I'm a little sweaty. Usually I'm not, so that shows how hard I had to work and how hard I was stressing tonight. So these guys are a great bunch of guys to race with show tonight, and yeah, it was really fun.
Well, another question I want to ask you, Nate. Tomorrow night, Top Fuel Racing goes to Las Vegas. Is your computer going to be able to hold out long enough for you to actually take part in that race?
Probably not. I think I'll join Tony in the booth for that one. So hopefully I have everything fixed by Memorial Day weekend, that Wednesday before, so I can take part of the 500 miler in that event. I think this league is doing a Indy race too, aren't they?
Something like that.
Okay. So yeah, hopefully I get everything patched up. But tomorrow night I'll probably be in the booth. You know, watching a pretty great league that Top Fuel has. This is a whole different animal from Top Fuel. This is a lot pack racing. Top Fuel, you get a little bit spread out. This one is hard. It's difficult to pass, I'll say that, and it's a lot of pack racing. But pack racing can be fun as long as your life's not in danger, like it's in these cars. So it's pretty nice, actually.
If you want to see lives in danger, you should see the incident between Isaiah Dupree and Bob Lacavara. That was a scary one. Anyway, Nate, good to speak to you. If you want to stick around, I'm gonna close out the broadcast. Before we do that, let's go to our results for tonight's race. Christopher Bouchard getting his season off to a strong start with the win tonight. Mike Whittaker very close at the end there, coming home in second. Timothy Bates on his debut, finishing on the third step of the podium. Isaiah Dupree fourth. Ronnie Osmer coming home with a creditable fifth place. Kevin Paskowicz comes home in sixth. Seventh is Dylan Moskowitz. Eighth is yourself, Nate Siefka. Greg Napier coming home ninth in the end, and Joe Morganti rounding out the top 10. In 11th place came home Johnny Antonucci, just missing out on the top 10. Cody Eldred came home 12th. Tyler Vickery eventually coming home 13th. I don't know why he stayed out with a damaged car. That's a weird one. Anyway, 14th was Quentin Young, 15th Bob Lacavara, 16th was Creighton Carter, 17th John Napier, 18th was Stuart Lumpkin, and the last car in the field, 41 laps down, was Mr. Hanover Fist, Terry Adams. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. A great race here tonight here at Auto Club. Definitely looking forward to next week's race. Let's go through our schedule with you tonight. Tomorrow night we are back here on this channel with Top Fuel Racing as they go to Las Vegas Thursday. Nate, I believe you're going to be in the booth with me on Thursday when we go to Dover with the Somo League. Are you going to be there?
Not Thursday, Friday. Friday. Actually,
yeah. Friday's Go Fast Racing also at Dover. Saturday we got the Major League Esports League also at Dover. But don't forget we got Fan Choice on Thursday and Saturday. ISDC returns with Tony Trapasso, and on Saturday Paskey's Sports Cardiac Cup Series returns also with Tony Trapasso. They are at Kansas Speedway. Then Sunday we're back with the ISL for the IR18s live from Kansas. That might be one you'd be interested in joining there, Nate.
Yeah, that Kansas is always a good track. So,
and in the IR18s as well.
I've not got to try the IR18 very much. So, if I can make it, I'll do it.
Yeah, but anyway, that's going to do it for us here tonight. Just going to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. This series is sponsored by RobertTechJobs.com, your leading supplier for temp to hire contracts in the Midwest. If you are an IT specialist and you want to get a job, then please do not hesitate to give Robert Tech Jobs a call and tell them that the ISL sent you. Also want to give a shout out to, one second, PZ Overlays, Paul Zota, supplying the most beautiful overlays there for your broadcast. So if you want an overlay for your broadcast, then go no further than Mr. Paul Zota and PZ Overlays. The Thorskin Podcast, if you want to hear people talk about superheroes and just have a load of fun, then just look no further than that podcast. It's absolute fun for about an hour or two. Check them out. They're on all streaming services on the internet. Also want to give a shout out to PH Aware, one of the most most difficult diseases to diagnose out there in the medical profession. If you want more information on how to spread awareness or more information on pulmonary hypertension altogether, then please go to either phaware.org or phaware.global. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight here at Auto Club Speedway. All that's left for me to say here tonight is keep it clean, keep it green, and next time we see you, we'll be back at Las Vegas in the DW12s. Good night.